So today, when you go to the theater, okay, you go to a space which looks like this. Okay, so it's indoor, intimate, maximum, usually a few hundred people, maximum 1,000 if you go to the National Theatre maybe. Ancient Athens of the 5th century BC could not have been, more different than our experience of the theatre today, because theatre in the Greek world was performed as a part of these, massive public festivals that attracted thousands of people. So this is the image that I want you to have in your mind when you think about Greek tragedy or Greek comedy or the theatre of Athens in general. So during the 5th century, then for the Athenians, the theatre was as much a political arena as entertainment occasion, and theatre was an essential part of the life of the city. Okay, so in total you can imagine about 1,200 people from among the citizens acting as performers. So these 1,200 performers, so you can imagine not all of them were professionals, definitely the smallest minority were, acting in front of the other, 6,000-7,000, okay? So a really important occasion. So Greek theatre generally relies on, its main ingredients are a chorus of 12 to 15 people for tragedy, and 1 to 3 actors, again for tragedy. In comedy, the chorus is double that. Instead of 12, it's 24 members. And not only that, but choruses of Greek comedies have some amazing characterizations so we find comedies with choruses of frogs, of birds, of clouds, of cities. Imagine how would you create costumes, okay, for a chorus member of a city. Islands, letters of the alphabet, okay, using this 24. Ant-men, so half and half men. So imagine the element of spectacles that 24, lavishly dressed chorus members would create, and also thinking about, the vibrant singing and music and choreography of Greek comedy. Add to that and get an idea of what a spectacle comedy really was. Comedy also had a huge soft spot for spectacle in the shape of stage machinery and props. And of course, the genre that comedy is obsessed above all with and competes the most against is tragedy. Of course, tragedy with its overwhelming popularity that it has, at this point, in the 5th century. So the most successful cultural product of the 5th century Greece, the world of tragedy, fascinates and continually obsesses comic poets. And what tragedy does with its more kind of serious sister that takes itself more seriously is of course to, parody it, distort it, okay, point to its flaws, point to its ridiculous conventions, to make fun of it, but also all of this fun and all of this satire, all of this obsession, all of this, fascination is really interesting because, it ends up being almost something like it engages with tragedy almost with a literary critical eye and becomes almost an homage sometimes, to tragic poetry. So, as often happens with parody, okay, so you find the best parody is of poetry, of literature, of music, is actually if you think about it, it often reveals a certain fascination, a certain love towards the object that you parody. Parody doesn't necessarily, show hostility. So you've got this, paradoxical kind of relationship between tragedy and comedy. Paradoxical relationship of comedy with tragedy. And if somebody, so before I told you that out of around 600 plays, 600 comedies that were composed in the 5th century, we have only 11 surviving. If somebody asked you, out of those 11, okay, how many actually made tragedy, a significant topic, actually the answer would be all of them, okay? All of them, only some of them, were even more so obsessed with tragedy than others were. So some of them, like the frogs that we will talk about today, or the women of Thesmophoria, make it their central aim to unpick tragedy from the beginning to the end. Others are written in the style of tragedy, or they create a hybrid genre between comedy and tragedy.